Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the 13th National Metropolis Conference. This year's theme is immigration, bringing the world to Canada, and we're so pleased that you've all come to British Columbia and that we're again hosting this event. Ceci est la troisième conférence metropolis à Vancouver. Over these 4 days, we'll be bringing over 1,000 delegates together. Delegates are coming from every province in Canada, from the Yukon Territory, and as well, we're welcoming delegates from many countries around the world, and I have a list. Welcome to those from China, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, New Zealand, Switzerland, Netherlands, United Kingdom, United States, and Austria. I understand the largest and this also does deserve another round of applause, as I understand that the largest single constituent group is from Sweden. Welcome. My name is Deb Zehr. I'm the Executive Director of the Immigrant Integration Branch with the Province of British Columbia, and I'm so honored to be your Master of Ceremonies for this morning's program. To begin, I would like to acknowledge that we're on the traditional territory of the Coast Salish people. To offer an Aboriginal blessing on the conference proceedings, it's with great respect that I introduce Mr. Henry Charles. Henry Charles is a full-blood Native Indian from the Musqueam tribe in Vancouver. Mr. Charles spent his early years living on the UBC endowment lands with his grandparents, parents, and 10 siblings. Growing up, he was a gifted athlete and having opportunity to travel and play abroad on many occasions. This experience was instrumental in helping him bridge the gap between life on a reservation and the world beyond. Mr. Charles' career was with the City of Vancouver. He's retired from the city in May 2010 after 36 years of service. Toward the end of his working career, he set out to learn his native language fluently, which, with the passing of elders, was rapidly becoming extinct. He recalls hearing his grandparents speaking it with visitors. Musqueam is not a written language and can only be learned through listening to it being spoken. Mr. Charles would visit the elders on the reserve and ask them to help him learn the language. Most of those elders have now passed away, and there are only a handful of people that are able to speak the language, including Mr. Charles. Today he is a husband, father, grandfather, Musqueam speaker, Native historian, Aboriginal greeter, and the First Nations storyteller in residence at the Vancouver Public Library. Please welcome Mr. Charles.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Henry Charles from the Musqueam Nation. I'm going to do a Musqueam greeting for you, and you don't have to stand up. You don't have to stand up. Just stay seated. You are on the lands of the Musqueam Nation. Antas at Samkin to Leeds and wa Musqueam Musteo. Hajka Siem Tanamasteo Kitsip Qui Inamat wa Musqueam Tumuk. Wanano Quam Schwello in Siem. Chiatalum Siem. Chiatalum Siem. Hajka Siem Tanamasteo Kitsip Cha Kuntumuk. Wanano Quam Schwello in Siem. Hajka Siem Tanamasteo Kitsip Qui Inamat wa Musqueam Tumuk Siem. Hajka Siem Tanamasteo Ititsel wa Musqueam Tumuk Siem Nasieya. Nata matwashkwala when set tanamasteok, nata washkwala kwasiem, ni hai tanashwelaskonita makhan. On behalf of the Musqueam Nation, we'd like to thank the people that have come traveled far to be with us today. We are especially thankful and grateful that you're able to walk on the lands of our old people. Smanam is which our ancestors come from. We hope your festivities go well today, and I'm very honored to welcome you on the traditional territories of the Musqueam Nation. We are one mind, one soul. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you for your blessings on the proceedings, for your presence, and for your open heart. The welcoming message in your program refers to the theme of this conference as one of the most significant issues of our time. Immigration and cultural diversity are not new topics, but the current dynamics related to the migration of people continues to grow in complexity and in consequence. Listening, speaking, discussing, and learning about these dynamics is what these next days are all about. In British Columbia, we've been very fortunate to have these dialogues and conversations for many years, as has occurred in many other parts of the country. In BC, as a provincial government, we've been actively involved in Metropolis, BC, since it began as RIM, Research on Immigration Integration in the Metropolis, in 1996. We've appreciated the leadership of the first co-directors, Don DeVorts and David Lay, along with the current co-directors, Dan Hebert and Krishna Pendekar. We appreciate the work of so many colleagues that are here today who've contributed to these partnerships in BC over the years. Partnerships that have resulted in influential research, in joint policy discussions, and in many new academic recruits within Metropolis, BC. To say a few words on behalf of Metropolis, BC, I'm pleased to introduce Dan Hebert. Dan is well known to many of you. He's a professor of geography at the University of British Columbia and has been co-director of Metropolis, BC since 2003. In this role, he's been instrumental in building our positive relations in British Columbia. He's the chief host of this conference and lead organizer for Metropolis, BC. Joining Dan is Julie Drolet. Julie is Deputy Executive Head of Metropolis Canada. She led the Ottawa team that coordinated this conference and has been working with that group for the past 4 years. It certainly takes many people to organize a conference of this magnitude, but it doesn't happen without the strong leadership that both Dan and Julie have worked tirelessly to bring. Please join me in welcoming and thanking Dan and Julie.